Welcome!
I look so not tan right now.
Welcome to our channel, Stress-Induced Left Eye Twitch. My name is Bo.
And I'm Jillian.
Today we have a story time for you. An epic story time of when I got engaged. I would show you my ring. This isn't the original ring that I got engaged with. That's part of the story, kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
Or they lost my ring. That's basically.
That's the whole story.
Yeah.
But they don't even know what you're talking
Let
about.
me tell you about when I got engaged.
Okay.
Once
I'm ready.
upon a time, I met my husband in college. Well, I met my future husband in college through like a ministry through our church. I thought he was a foreign exchange student.
We all
He
did.
looked like one. His name sounded like one.
I thought he was Danish. I thought he was like a Dutch boy.
I thought he was like some kind of European, guy.
Yeah.
His name is Shenanaya.
Mhm.
Go by Naya. He had long hair at the time.
Yeah.
Just kind of
like literally to here.
We play in the same, fast forward, so I was young. I was 17 when I met him. He is 4 years older than me, so he was 21. Is that 21? We played in the same worship band, and that's kind of like how we got to know each other, but it was nothing like we liked each other at all.
Yeah, no, nothing.
Fast forward, when I was 19.
It was all very legal.
It was legal. 19, about to turn 20, we became boyfriend and girlfriend.
He approached her and asked her to
Date with the intention of marriage. That's how
praying.
both
about
Jillian and I
it.
never really had we didn't date growing
No,
up.
not really.
And
No.
we had an intent. We weren't allowed to date younger. And then when I was like older, we wanted to date with the intention of like getting married.
Mm-hmm.
And so he asked me, he was like, would you like to date with the intention of getting married? I was really young and I was really not ready for marriage. So I was like, I'll date you with like maybe in the future the thought of marriage. But we just dated for a while. So then,
Blocked my face.
sorry. Fast forward. So
You dated for a year.
a year.
Uh-huh.
And then growing up, we had two cousins that we were so close to. They were practically sisters. One of them got married and she moved to Denver,
Yeah.
Colorado. So Naya went to Jillian and hatched out a plan. So you
Well,
can
she
kinda
went
share.
to Lydia,
Oh.
our cousin, and was like, invite them down for the weekend. My memory is not as good as Bo's about this subject.
No,
So if
she
I
just has a
butcher
bad
it.
memory and I'll correct you.
Okay. So Naya was like, I'm going to have all of you girls go to Denver to visit Lydia. But I knew that Bo was going to get engaged at the end of it. I mean, he filled me in on somewhat the plan. But even some of the plan I had no idea about.
Really? I
But
didn't know
he
that.
was going to pay for Bo's ticket, my ticket, and Naomi's ticket.
Our cousin.
To go fly to Denver to see Lydia, apparently, for a girls' weekend. And Lydia was like, yeah, that sounds great, but I don't really want to stay in Denver. Like, let's make it a real girls' weekend. Like, let's take a day trip to Aspen.
That's what she was told by Naya to tell me.
Yeah, she was like, I'm bored of Denver.
Yes.
Let's go to Aspen.
Now, side story, there's a place in Aspen called Maroon Bells. If you look it up, it's stunning. But it
gorgeous.
is my favorite place on the entire earth.
And obviously Naya knew this.
He knew
'cause
that.
They were dating, and they were real into each other.
But I still didn't think anything of it. So Lydia came and was like, I don't want to stay in Denver. I got a Groupon.
For like a little inn in Aspen, so let's just spend the night there, and we'll come back in like the weekend, whatever. And we're like, okay. So Lydia drives us. We flew to Denver. Lydia picked us
But
up.
on the
Oh
plane.
yeah, on
yeah.
the plane. He had given me something. Was it me or Naomi? The first one.
The first one was Naomi. You were the last one to give
So
me.
Naomi, he had given our cousin Naomi a gift. Okay, listen, guys. Naya is so extravagant, like in the best way possible, because Bo is, her love language is gifts.
We were made for each other.
So on the flight, Naomi gives Bo this package, and it's this gorgeous tennis bracelet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like a real diamond
And there was
tennis
this
bracelet.
phrase that was on it on all, like the first gift I got when I was in Colorado, like 2 years before, so when we were first together, he had sent me a package that said, just making you feel loved from 600 miles away. And so then that was on the gift that Naomi gave me, just making you feel loved from 600 miles away.
And Bo obviously did not think anything of this because
Nothing.
Naya did this all the time.
Yeah, it was like
literally
extravagant stuff
all the time. And like, listen, Naya's amazing, but look at Bo. Of course you want he married up because
so
you're
nice.
you. Well, this is
So
true.
nice.
But I'm glad he showered Bo with gifts their entire relationship. So it really, honestly, did not.
No, I didn't think
her at
anything
all.
of it. I honestly didn't. I was like,
She was
oh,
like, oh,
thanks.
it's so cute. She loved it. And then, then we get to Lydia's house and
flowers.
There were flowers there.
Making you feel loved from 600 miles away.
Yeah. And still, Bo would think nothing of it.
Oh, it's so nice.
Because literally, I'm not joking you. He did this like once a week throughout their entire relationship, if not more. So
yeah, it was a lot. And not trying to be like
and
callous
he
about it.
still does it. He's
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 extravagant,
so romantic.
very romantic person.
Oh, so like big romantic gestures.
You'll see even more towards the end.
Yeah.
Like this is just the beginning.
Yeah, we said this was epic. So then Lydia drives us to Aspen. That was a perilous drive. She's a very good driver, but it was like starting to snow.
We forgot to tell you, we went to Colorado in December.
Yeah, it was like very cold.
December 15th,
Yeah.
I think was.
It was snowing. We were like, are we even going to get to Aspen?
And I kind of the whole time was like, why are we going to
Because
Aspen?
it was like a couple hour drive.
It was a couple hour drive. She said she got a Groupon, but I still was just like a lot. This was just a relationship. They always kind of let it, and Naomi and I were just kind of like along for the
like
ride.
Lydia and I always would just tell them what we were doing, and then we would do it. So we were like, this is a great idea, and they're like, oh, okay. So we ended up getting.
Naomi gave me another one on the.
Oh, what was it?
Another bracelet that said "making you feel loved." So no, it's the necklace.
Yeah, you got a necklace.
It was like an infinity necklace, and it had the thing "making you feel loved" from 600 miles away. And she was like, "Here, this is like I gave it to me to give to you on day 2 of like your thing."
Yeah. So we get to Aspen, right? And we stayed in this like little. It was nothing extravagant, but it was cute.
It was a little inn. It was super cute.
And right away, Lydia and I were like, "Bo, you need to."
There was a package at the front desk. Do you remember that?
Yeah, there was a package. But at what point did I tell you couldn't wear your hair like that?
It was on the drive, wasn't it?
I think. Okay, so Bo wore a top
This.
knot. Yeah.
It was a hairstyle like
Which
this.
I love when Bo does this.
My husband hates it. My boyfriend at the time hated it. I have long, very
Gorgeous
curly hair, and he's like, I just don't like when you wear a bun. Now he doesn't like tell me not to wear a bun, but Jilly knew this about.
And I also knew how Bo would want to look. So like the week before this all happened, I was like, Bo, let's get our nails done.
Yeah,
Before
I didn't know anything
like
about
before
this.
we go see Lydia, like let's go get cute. Let's get like tan and our nails
so
done.
good about that.
Well, you were very. It wasn't like I had a choice. She made it very clear for the first 18 years of our
If
life.
a ring is ever gonna be on this hand, like you want your nails to look nice, but I still did not think anything of
No,
it.
well, you wouldn't have because I did it like far enough in advance that you wouldn't think anything
And it was
of
like right when shellac was becoming a thing,
Yeah,
and so we were like, let's try out
it.
shellac.
So then on the way there, I literally told Bo because she chose to. We had to have still been at the apartment because remember you went to the bathroom and just started being like you started crying. You were so upset because I was not nice about it because she would not take her hair down.
Well, it was just so random. We were gonna drive to Aspen, and she was like, "Your hair looks so ugly like that. You look like a Little House in the Prairie."
Yeah, I
character."
kept like trying.
And she was doing it with such like she knew what needed to happen, but to me, I was like, "The
Why
hell are you? Like, why are you making this an issue?" And I think I was just like so taken aback by it that I was like, I started crying, and I was like, "Why are you being so mean?"
I was being so. I just wanted her to take her hair down.
Yeah. And then you're like, you had me put that hat on, and
Yeah.
you're like, like a little like winter like
a
beret,
beanie, like a beret. It was so cute, and I was like, oh my gosh, show us.
Oh, it was so weird.
I know, but I knew you would be
I know
so
you
mad.
did really well, but just at the time I was a little confused.
We're gonna post pictures at the end of this
You'll get
video
to see.
of all of it. It's gorgeous and amazing. But anyway, so we get to Aspen, and right away, Lydia and I were like, let's go on an adventure. Let's try to get to the Maroon Bells. And at this point, we
But I
didn't
gotta
know-
share about my
Was
thing.
this at there?
Yeah,
I thought we gave it to you in the car.
Oh yeah, you went to pick up the package.
Yeah.
Okay, I get what you're
So
saying.
we were like, let's go on an adventure. I didn't know at this point exactly what we were gonna do. Like, Nia was texting me, and he had been in the mountains for days at this point, and he was like, Jillian, you're gonna have to get to this certain place. Just drive to this place, and I'll let you know what we're doing from there. So I picked up the package. And we get in the car, and I was like, "Hey, Bo, here's another present." And I don't think she thought anything of it.
Okay,
still.
part of me was starting to, because the package was a pair of boots, like
Yeah.
winter boots.
Yeah, winter,
Cute, but
such cute boots.
boots. And I was like, what?
He
And
didn't
then
give us any boots.
this was in it.
Yeah.
Now this says, just making you feel loved from 600 miles away. And it's a journal from start to finish.
Like, this is literally handwritten by
Handwritten
my husband.
every day for that year of our
we're not
relationship.
joking.
We were together 1 year. And it is every day what we did that day, what he felt that day. But, so I'm like, oh my gosh. I started crying at this
Yeah.
point. But I still was not putting 2 and 2 together.
And in the middle of it,
Yeah, he didn't put it at the end. So like the end was 12:14, and it was 12:15, and I was like, oh, it just like was a year. But in the middle, he had saved a day
to talk about what was going to
what
happen
he was
that
doing
day. Yeah.
that day. But he was like, there's no way she's gonna just read in the middle. He thought that I flipped to the end
Yeah.
if there was like something weird. But I don't know where it is. But there's an
Well, you look for it while
Okay,
I keep
you keep
describing.
going.
So, by this point, Bo's super emotional. I think she probably, in her heart of hearts, knew that
But I
something
couldn't like
was
put it
weird.
together.
Yeah. So, because it was just so obscure, it was like literally nearing dusk at this point. We drive up into the Maroon Bells, which thank you again, Lydia, for not killing us on those
Did
drives.
really well.
We drive to this little place, and Nia goes, Jillian, I rented you guys snowmobiles, and these people are going to drive you to where you need to go.
But I was told that they got another Groupon to do a snowmobile tour
Yeah,
of the
we
Maroon
told
Bells,
them,
and I was
we
like,
got-
yay!
We were like, you have to.
No, he had to do the snowmobiles because the
But I
snow
gotta tell my-
closed
Yeah.
the paths to drive up to the Maroon Bells.
Yeah.
It was like an audible. It wasn't
Yeah,
part of it. He had
no.
to rent snowmobiles and guides.
He paid a lot of money for
to
this.
get us up
Okay,
there.
so on top of this, okay, this is how I had to go from even here on. They tried to put Bo in a snowsuit, like a head to toe snowsuit. The rest of us were putting these snowsuits on, and I literally told Lydia and Naomi, I was like, I don't care how cold we are, we cannot put these snowsuits on, because it was going to be our job to take photos of everything. So I was like, we are gonna tell Bo we are not wearing these snowsuits, and Bo was like, guys, it's so cold. Why wouldn't we wear the snowsuits? I'm like, oh my gosh, none of us are wearing those.
Yeah, and I think they were like, we want to take pictures at some point. Like,
Yeah.
why would we want to have these?
Yeah.
And I think you guys got even the guides to be like, well, they're optional.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that cold out.
Yeah, we even, like, I literally took the guide to the side and was like, she will not be wearing that snowsuit. So literally tell her that you don't have her size. I don't care what you do. We're not wearing the helmets and we're not wearing the
And I'm
snowsuit.
just like, I won't wear it. I mean, it's really cold.
It's so cold.
So we get
On these snowmobiles, and it was like the most magical ride ever.
I don't think I've ever had an experience so cool. As it was like so quiet.
There was nobody else.
Nobody was there, and it was just like driving
It was
through
just
the mountains
us.
as snow was falling.
Yeah, and it wasn't like we had guides with us. It's not like we knew how to drive.
No,
the
but there was no
snowmobiles.
other like
There
tourists
was
or anything.
no one else. There was nobody at. I mean, I think they were closing for the night. It was getting towards nighttime, and it was so amazing. I was like, there is a God. This is amazing.
It was incredible.
And I wasn't
I had
even getting engaged.
But I had only seen it during the summer. So to see it in the winter, it was like, oh my gosh.
It was so beyond beautiful. It was not even a funny thing.
Okay, so now we're driving up through it. We get to Maroon Bells, and there's like this little cabin, and they're like, you can go in and get some hot chocolate and like warm up a little bit, and then like you can walk.
But they said like you guys can get hot chocolate, whatever, and I was like, let's go on a walk.
Yeah.
Because I knew where I was.
So I like had hot chocolate, and then we started this walk.
You tell the rest.
All of a sudden, I hear music. Now my husband had like this song that it was like his song that he loved to play, but he like added to it, and he plays piano, so he like
sounds
this
like
song.
the Twilight song.
Yeah, it's part of it, but then he like expanded it, but I could hear it, and it was so quiet.
And there were pedals everywhere.
But not to that part.
Oh
yet.
yeah.
It was so quiet, like in the mountains, that that's all you could hear was like this piano music filling.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was like, "Is he here? Like, did he make it here?" And
I think she kind of just thought that was going to be the surprise, that he came.
I didn't know what to believe at this point. It was just like a dream that I was like, is this really happening? Like all of this?
And we fell back at this
Yeah, they
point.
weren't. And so then,
Kind of, because we took pictures.
a couple years ago, I had been in that exact place, and I had found a tree, and I had carved in Naya and I's initials in that tree. Now, he had never seen that tree or been to that tree. It's a tree and a bunch of trees.
He saw a picture of
Yeah, he just saw a picture. He had asked my mom, who was on a trip with me that time, where the tree was. My mom like worked with him to find it. He found like the coordinates or something of it, and like found that tree. So I hear the music coming, and then I just see.
He worked for literally like
Let me tell the
2 days
story.
to find that tree.
Yeah, he found the tree. He was with those guides.
For 2 days, he was
Finding
up
the tree.
there.
The guide helped him find the tree. All this stuff. Let me tell the rest of my story. So then,
Don't yell at me.
by the
ever.
tree, I see a ton of rose petals. Still can't see Naya yet, but I'm like, oh my gosh, that's my tree. And I like walk over, and he comes out from behind my tree, and I like had seen my tree. He had carved at the top of it this huge like Josie and Naya thing. We'll post pictures where you can see, but it was on my tree, and he came out, and the music's still playing. It was like quiet. I could like kind of see them in the peripherals, like taking pictures. And he got down on one knee, and he like proposed to me. Nobody else was there. It was like the people I loved the most in my life, and him. It was magical. So he got down on one knee, asked me to marry him. I of course said yes, but it keeps going from there. So then like they came out, we took pictures. It was amazing. Then he was like, I have a dinner reservation.
Oh, I forget this.
Yeah, I have a dinner reservation. So he was like, he drove me back on the snowmobile. Just
they
him
drove
and I.
off into the sunset.
Yeah, well, they were just like watching.
And I was like, how are we gonna get home?
Yeah. But he had this dinner planned where we drove like 20 minutes to this place, and you could not drive to the restaurant. You had to stop at this like Indian hut thing, and you took horse and carriage with blankets on you. It was just me, him, and like 3 other couples.
I wonder how much this cost him.
And we almost missed it because we couldn't find it, and I didn't know what we were doing. But we had like 2 minutes to spare. We got on this horse and carriage. It was dark at this point, so we had like blankets on. It was just like the sky, and it was still snowing at this point. And we took a horse-drawn carriage for like 20 minutes up the mountain to this tiny log cabin where they served us like a 5-course meal, dessert, all that kind of stuff. And then we took it back.
I had pizza.
Yeah, you guys did something else that night. So that was like, but I found it. It's like the middle of it. He wrote like about, let's see.
But I just would like to stress how incredibly difficult it was for him to find that tree in a forest full of trees.
I know.
I mean,
it's
he
crazy.
almost could not find it.
Yeah, he couldn't. It was, I think, but I thought he picked the tree and he didn't know it was still, like he had like picked the tree. I think I'll have to ask him, but he was like, he found like the location, but he could not find the initials that I put. So he was like, I'll just put the first tree, and it happened to be the same tree.
Yeah,
like
it was
my tree.
amazing.
But yeah, so in the middle, he like wrote out the entire plan that he had been there 3 days before. That he was like, really he like said like, you're gonna go to the Thatchers. I'm off for a 3.5-hour drive. I can't wait to marry you. Like all this stuff. I hope you don't miss your flight. And then it like just went on for the rest of whatever it was. But it was just insane. Like I have this is like one of my favorite parts ever because he was documenting our whole year, and I know every date that we were ever on, like anything.
So cute.
Yeah,
so
it was
precious.
really cute.
Well, we'll link a lot of pictures after this.
Yeah,
so.
but it won't be the same ring because the people who have my ring lost my ring, so then I got an upgrade twice.
Story for another day.
Another story time. That's my engagement story.
All right, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to our
this
channel.
was a long one.
Thanks.
If you're still at this, props to you if you're still watching. Bye.
Bye.